Hello my friends, this is Jeannie. Welcome back. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I am going to make another card in this video. My husband asked that I make him a card for his trainer. We are fortunate in that we have a horse stable near us, and the woman who operates that stable, she gives riding lessons. If you have dealt with horses and riding lessons, you all know that can get pretty expensive. Lucky for us, the woman at this particular stable was willing to barter with my husband. She would give him riding lessons, and in return he would do work at the stables, taking care of the horses, etc, etc, etc. So anyways, he wants to give her a thank you card, which I think is totally appropriate and very much needed, because it's a very kind thing to do. And I decided to use things in my stash to make the card. It is for someone who runs a horse stable, so I wanted something kind of horse themed. I don't have a lot of anything horse themed, so I had to do a little digging, and what I found was this Childcraft book that I purchased from Diane H. not too long ago. It's a 1960 book. I did a quick flip through the book and found a page. Actually, you can see there's a page missing here. That's because I ripped it up, but it was a page like animals who help man or mankind or something like that, but it was basically about working animals. And they had this really great photo, this black and white, of a little girl feeding a horse, and I absolutely love that. So I took the page out, I used my deco trimmer and trimmed it. So that's the image, black and white, which was perfect. I can work with that. Because it is a black and white image, I decided to go with a gray base for the card. It's A2 size. And I also decided to look through my painted papers. This is all vintage stuff. I thought this was just painted paper, and in one of my prior videos someone left a comment and was good enough to educate me on what these actually were. And this is hand painted wallpaper, apparently. I did not know that. This is something that I got from my mother-in-law, and I have tons of it in different styles and colors. I came across this blue one, which I absolutely loved, so I took a small part of it. I think these came from the same sheet, though. Now that I look at them, they look like two totally different styles. Alright, so maybe they're not from the same sheet. I saw two blue sheets. I assumed they were from the same sheet, but looking at these, apparently two different sheets. Anyway, neither here nor there, right? Point is, I found this really pretty blue paper, which I thought worked well with the gray. It's a nice pop of color. It has the horse and the little girl on the front, so I thought that worked really, really well. He is giving the card to her, so I didn't want it to be too frilly. It doesn't have to be like a totally masculine card, right? But I did want it to be a little less girly girl, if you will. So this is what we are going to work with. I think something like this. We will have the base, which is 5.5 by 4.25. Then I have the mat on top of that, and this is, I believe I cut it to 5.25 by 4. And then I have this, which I kind of just eyeballed. It was a very small image, so I just had to trim it a little smidge at a time until it got to the point where I thought proportionally it would work. I didn't want to trim off too much. And in terms of a sentiment, because we have this space right here, I thought we could do some heat embossing. So I have this stamp that's been in my stash forever. It's by Stampendous, and it's just a simple thank you. I love the font, I love the script, and the size I think is perfect. I destashed a lot of my stamps because I just wasn't using them, but what I did keep were all of like the happy birthday and thank you sentiments, because you can never have too many of those. And I'm glad I did, because now I'm using them, right? So I thought something like this, maybe heat embossed, and I thought I would use white. I have this Nouveau embossing powder, and it is Glacier White. So I'm going to try that. So I thought what I would do is make the card and then use my stamping press to stamp the sentiment and go from there. So let's do that. Of course, I'm going to do a little bit of inking on the edges because I like doing that. And look what I did. I got a new pad. I got a new blending tool for a new pad for my blending tool, so I won't have that mess that I had last time, because my pad on my blending tool was falling apart and I was being way too lazy to do anything about that. I am going to use archival ink, and this is in the color Black Soot, and just ink the edges. This is probably going to be my last project for today. Today is Sunday. I've already done 3 projects, filmed 3 videos. Hence, you'll see me rocking the same outfit in this video and probably the 2 before this one. And that's because I'm filming them all one sitting. Then what I'm going to do is spend some time with my husband and my child. We have a little fire pit, and I think the weather is just about right for us to light up that fire pit and have some s'mores. I mean, she will have some s'mores. My husband will have some s'mores. I don't like s'mores. Yeah, I know. What can I say? I will have wine. Yes, I'm going to drink some wine. Little glass of wine. He'll probably have some rum. And we'll probably sit out there a few hours. And then eventually make our way back in when Walking Dead time rolls around. It is Sunday. Gotta watch some Walking Dead. It's not Walking Dead. What is it? Fear? It's the other one. The other spinoff. What is it? Fear the Dead? Or I don't know. Something like that. It's one of the spinoffs, like I said. I think that works out well. So that's my Sunday plan. I am going to use my Mono Tombow for this one. Hopefully that'll work. I don't think it really matters, but I will, I don't know. I say that and then all of a sudden I fuss over which side I want to be the top side. So that's about right. I do at some point want to share with you a project that I made for my Girl Scouts. They are having a Court of Awards soon, and I made some 3D books to house all of the badges and pins and all that other fun stuff that they earned, and I thought they turned out really, really nice. So I would like to share that with you at some point. Maybe even share with you how I made the book. I think for this, because this paper is a little thinner and I don't want it to get creased or warped or wrinkled with the wet glue, I am going to use my adhesive tape gun, or my ATG. I have to tell you, I've been destashing quite a bit in my room and decluttering and all that fun stuff, and in the process was reminded of all of the wonderful tools that I have in my room that I have not been using, like my stamping press, my ATG. I'm just going to go out of frame just for a few so I can put this right under me and get it about right. About there, it's about right. My different glues, just tools that I've always had. I used to use a lot, and then for whatever reason stopped using, and now I'm using them again. And don't know why I stopped, other than out of sight, out of mind, right? But now that I see them again, I'm enjoying them. So that's why I'm using more of my tools, like my deco cutter, my stamping press, my smaller score boards. I have the very big one, which I love and adore, but takes up a lot of space. And so yeah, reminded. I have the tools. I need to use the tools because they certainly make life look a lot easier when it comes to crafting. So that's my ATG. Put it off to the side. This is what we have. Isn't that pretty? I will have to mat the inside of the card with some white cardstock. The gray cardstock I use is probably like a 60 pounds, about there. I don't know the brand. It's just on a stack right here on my shelf. It's probably one of those packs that I got at Michael's way back when they have like the 2 for $10 or 2 for $5, whatever it is, and you get one stack of different hues or shades of one color. This one seems to be part of like a gray and black stack, which is awesome. So I think that is awesome. I think that works. That's fantastic. So what I'm going to do now is get my stamping press and set it up so that I can stamp this here, and fingers crossed, it works out. It would be a shame because this is the only image I have like that. I don't have another image. So I am going to pause and be right back. Okay, so I set up my stamping press. I think there's something under here. It doesn't feel quite. Why is it wobbly? Maybe my desk is wobbly. I don't know. Maybe my mind is wobbly, but I feel it's a little wobbly. But that's okay. We will make it work. I have my embossing powder. I have my anti-static pillow. I have my clear embossing stamp pad, which I hope is still good. I think it's still good. We will find out together. I am going to, yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, okay, it is. I can see it. Stamp my stamp. Probably just do it twice. See what happens. There is no plan B. If this doesn't work, oopsie. Let's do it one more time. Did you see what I did? I didn't use my anti-static pillow. Oh no. Guess we're gonna find out, right? I just wanted to get it done. That I kind of skipped a step there. But what you would normally do is take your little anti-static powder pillow and just brush it across the surface that you're going to emboss on before you stamp it. That way, the only place that the embossing powder will stick is to the areas that have the embossing ink. I didn't do much to the image, so there's no reason why the embossing powder should stick to anything other than the area I just stamped. But really, the proper way to do it, my friends, is to use the pillow first, then stamp, then the embossing powder. Just saying. Let's see what happens. The only place it could potentially stick is to the edges that I inked. So because I skipped that step, you see all that extra powder hanging around there? I don't want that. So what I will do, no harm, no foul, just an extra step, is get one of my brushes and just carefully brush off the powder that is sticking where I don't want it to stick. And this is why we use the little pillow. You know, it's funny because those areas I thought were powder, I think is just part of the image. But I think that will work. So what we will do now, I'm going to turn on the heat tool. It's going to get really loud, but I want it to warm up before I apply it to the gun. So number one, let's see, is it plugged in? It is. So that's good. Put this to the side and clean this up a little bit. I'm going to apply some heat to the back side and straighten it out and warp a little bit. It's okay. She a little loppy now, but nothing a couple of hours under some heavy books won't fix. I think that looks good. I think that looks really good. Probably would have been a little neater had I used the pillow first, but that works. So that is the card. What I will do now is cut a white mat for the inside so that he has somewhere to write his message, and stamp my maker mark on the back, and the card is done. So what do you think? I think it turned out really well. Not perfect, but again, handmade. Things don't have to be perfect when they're handmade. And not bad. Considering I didn't have a lot of horse theme type supplies on hand, and I think this worked out well. So thank you so much for joining me, my friends. I truly do appreciate it, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of the week, and I hope that you were inspired to get crafty. I will catch you all in the next video, my friends. Until next time, bye bye.